Okay, so I'm watching a video of a car that's driving fast and spinning out on an icy and snowy road. Okay. So hi, I'm Blake Zaccagnino. I work mostly on personal injury claims in New York State. And what this video reminded me of was something called the emergency doctrine. And generally what it means is that if it's determined that a driver of a vehicle was faced with an emergency situation that was not of their own making, in other words, that they did not cause or contribute to, then their conduct is measured by what a reasonable person would have done in response to that emergency, as opposed to the best possible judgment that could have been made in that situation. And I wanted to read some case law, again, just to more fully and thoroughly explain the standard. So one section here from some case law that I was able to pull that explains it is: a driver faced with an emergency which he or she did not create will not be held for failure to exercise the best judgment or wisest judgment in that emergency, but is only required to do what might reasonably be expected of the average prudent motorist under similar circumstances. So I can only speak to New York State cases where this rule comes into play. And specifically talking about cars that are sliding on ice and snow in the wintertime, if you're in a place like Buffalo, my thought and from my experiences is that that would be a tough argument. And generally, the factors that we're looking at in a deposition or when we're questioning people is how often they were faced with similar conditions in the past. So, for example, in Buffalo, we are consistently pounded with bad weather, terrible snow, bad storms, and we're well versed and well trained in driving. Well, at least most of us are in the wintertime, and we kind of know what sort of precautions that have to be taken in order to drive safely. Now, if this happened in some other area where the same rule was applicable where they're not accustomed to winter weather, then it's a different story. And other factors that we look into when we're assessing whether or not this doctrine should apply is whether the weather, traffic, and road conditions were conditions that a person had experienced in the past or not. And if they had experienced them in the past, we really dig into and flesh into questions that involve what sort of risks are involved, what sort of precautions should be taken when driving in weather, road, or traffic conditions that were the same or similar to what they were on the day of a particular accident. And generally also, if it's a case involving somebody sliding on ice or snow, we'll dig into whether or not that person looked at the weather for that day, whether or not they observed the weather and road conditions prior to driving on that particular day of the incident. So again, this is just another quick video on legal doctrine, and it further demonstrates the nuances in these cases and the importance of understanding them. Thank you, and if there's any specific questions that you have or that you want me to really dig into, let me know in the comments below. Thank you.